This is a
Squad. What's up? What's up?
That ball is belted. Welcome in Carlos Gomez. Hello. Goodbye. Ay, 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 ay. Oh man, yeah. We rockin' now for real. Yeah. BS3 Sports. Okay. Sports news, get it first when you're getting off of work. Even when you're at work, acting like you're working hard when you're hardly working. I'm a maverick like Dirk, getting Franklin's like Kirk. Hold up, boy. X-Squad, you don't know them boys? Being talking facts on every topic. Overall, we just talking noise, just being boys. Covering Texas sports in them tall hills. That with the fake pass over to Elliott. Better guard your grills like a car for real. Yeah, Cowboys gonna bring a bowl back, Lord willing. Yeah, Mavericks gonna bring a ring back with Mark in it. We live sports, we talk sports, we dream sports, we eat sports. The teacher about to teach the course. Welcome to BS3 Sports.
The weekly show.
Ay, 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 ay. Gross. Oh, man, yeah.
Welcome to the weekend wrap-up show, episode 127. Sprung like the Sprite commercial. You remember that Sprite commercial back in the 90s where it was Grant Hill drinking a Sprite, Grant Hill's dunking the ball. There's a guy standing on the other side of the gate drinking a Sprite too, and he thinks he can dunk the ball. And he goes up and tries to dunk the ball, and he gets sprung on the rim. And this is in correlation to, obviously, Steph Curry getting a fast break and getting sprung on the rim, trying to be fancy, should have just laid the ball up. So, thank you for tuning in to the weekend wrap-up show. Shout out to Miss J2 twice, first in the building. My man Kev with Clutch Talk Sports. New time for his show. Going today at 3 Central, 4 Eastern on TuneIn Radio, Sports Radio America. Also, Miss Mocha Bella, thank you for tuning in. So come right on in, ready to get right into the show. We got NBA playoffs. We got Stanley Cup playoffs. We got Canelo Jacobs fight going down this weekend. Also, we got the Kentucky Derby that has some drama, went down this weekend. Also got some other news and notes. So we got a great show planned. Very excited. Want to give a shout out to X Squad Radio, which the show is on. Also, No Phony Podcast Network. My fam over there showing love. Also, BS3 Sports shirts are still available. $20 plus the shipping. In any color combination that you want it in, just hit me up. I can get that for you. Raider Kev in the building. Thank you for tuning in. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Just like the title of the show, Sprung like the Sprite commercial. Let's get into this Warriors-Rockets, which we got game 4 going down tonight. This game was entertaining from beginning to end. Just really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was entertaining from beginning to end. You look at the Rockets, they were trying their hardest to try to win this game. But if we want to all be honest with ourselves, this game was lost by the Warriors. It wasn't necessarily won by the Rockets, at least in my opinion. I think P.J. Tucker had put up some great defense. I think during parts of the game, KD was just getting past him, though, with ease. And there was also points in the game, especially overtime, where the Warriors just lost it. It just looked like they lost it. They had multiple opportunities to capitalize. They couldn't. When you don't capitalize, another team will. And that's where it came in, that Harden hitting step-back jumpers. You're leaving Eric Gordon wide open. You're giving opportunities for them to win this game. Shout out to H-Rap B in the building. Thank you for tuning in. But it was entertaining, man. That game, if I didn't do anything else that Saturday, which I was unpacking boxes, but if I wasn't doing anything else that Saturday, I was going to watch that game because I knew it was going to be fire. Because those two teams, whenever they play each other, it is competitive basketball. They play up to their best whenever they get on the floor. Harden's eye still looks horrible. He said he had some real good doctors that was taking care of him, and I believe it. Because his eyes still didn't look good, but that did not stop him. He didn't use it as an excuse. You listen to the post-game interview, he didn't say anything about his eye until he was asked about it. So, in my opinion, that just shows what a competitor that Harden is. And we can talk about Harden's play. We can talk about what he does or doesn't do. But that shows the heart right there. A-Trap says, definitely enjoyed that game. And it's not over with yet. We got game 4 tonight, playing in Houston. Houston's going to be ready. Golden State's going to be ready. You will not see another game like what Steph had. Missing layups. Come on. Missing layups. Got sprung on the rim like the Sprite commercial. That remaining part of that game was not a great sequence of events for the Warriors. And they have moments like this though. They do. And whenever they have a moment like this, they normally turn back around and bounce back. I would love to see the Rockets win this one because then we can take it back to Oakland. We can make this, I want this series to go as long as possible because they just flat out go at it. And I wish Patrick Beverley was still on the Rockets because then you would see even more. You would see even more feistiness in this series. But it will continue to be entertaining. Thank you to all the listeners out there tuning in to the weekend wrap-up show right here on X Squad Radio. Create a profile, join in on the conversation. I would definitely give you a shout out. Your opinion is appreciated and respected. So whatever it is that you have to say, you could put it in the chat room there. Create a profile on Twitter or via your Twitter or your Facebook or your email. But it is definitely worth you tuning in to the show, tuning in to X Squad Radio. A lot of great shows, great content. And I don't say great lightly. I say that, and I mean that. Chief Rocket just had a show that he just did right before mine's. Very entertaining. If you listen to Chief Rocket's show and you don't laugh, there's something wrong with you. Because you are going to laugh, guaranteed. Shout out to Mo Cheese in the building. Shout out to the greatest in the building coming on later on tonight. Midnight Love Jones. If Houston bang again in the paint, they will win. The greatest says he hates Golden State. Come on, you can't hate them. You can't hate Golden State. You can't hate them. But I get it. You can strongly dislike them. I get it, though. But someone has to beat them. That is it. That is all it comes down to. That is all it comes down to. If someone can beat Golden State, they will be dethroned. But until then, they will continue to win. Harden had 41, 9, and 6. KD had 46 in that game. Overtime was not good. Also, and shout out to ABM of Posting in the Paint. He said, he was telling me KD only had 3 rebounds. If you're 7 foot tall, you need to have more rebounds. And I agree with him 100%. 3 rebounds is not a lot. 3 rebounds is not a lot when you're that tall. But KD did have some record-breaking stats during this game. Let me read those to you. So he now moved into 7th place on the all-time three-point list. Also, he cracks a top 10 for all-time playoff scoring. So even though the Warriors lost, even though Durant didn't have a good overtime, he has put himself into the record books, which it will only get better. It will only get better for him as he continues to play. That's the same situation with LeBron. Same situation with a lot of players. As they continue to play, which they're going to be playing for a long period of time, but as they continue to play, they're going to break records because of just the longevity of playing, for the amount of stats that you occur as you're playing more and more games. That's just logical. Now, you do have to have something to be able to put on the floor. You got to have some skill, but I think a part of it too is you're gonna be breaking a lot of records because of the time that you have put into the game. Longevity, time, plus talent, all of that stuff is what equals Kareem, really. Kareem played for a long time. He had the skill. And that's I think what brought Kareem to being number one on that stats list. So KD doing this thing in the record books. Again, overtime was not good, but game 4 will be tonight. You know they're going to go at it. They're playing in Houston, so looking forward to that one. On Sunday's games, we had Denver evening up 2-2. Nikola Jokic again, his 4th triple-double of the postseason. I'm telling y'all, if you're not paying attention to Nikola Jokic, what are you doing with your life? What he's doing in these playoffs, I think, can be overlooked. You got Jamal Murray on that team. Jokic has been doing his thing. Dame hasn't slipped up either. Dame had 28, 3, and 7. They won by 4, and then the Friday game went into 4 overtimes. So this series is entertaining as well. Both of the Western Conference series games have been entertaining to watch, and it's been a flip of the coin. You can throw it either way. More so in the Denver series, not as much, I would say, in the Rockets-Warriors series, because deep down, I don't care what happens. I think the Rockets are going to win. I think the Warriors are going to win, because they just seem to have more firepower. They seem to have more skilled players on the floor at one point in time. DeGray says stats are overrated because they've been playing for 15 to 20 years. Good point. I think the older I get, I'm hating more. Yeah, you kind of like the old man, get off my lawn. Why out here using that chalk right on my sidewalk? Get that chalk off my sidewalk. Yeah, you kind of sounded like that. But I think that's just that's what makes sports talk great. That's what makes debating great, because we all have our different perspective. And as we get older, it does change. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize how great of a player Kareem was. He's balling. That's an awesome series as well. Shout out to Courtney Harden in the building. And D great, man. Like I said, we all, as we get older, I think our opinions change, our thoughts change, because you have more experience. You have more, thoughts that you have, or more things that you see that will help you potentially change your mind. So I get where you're coming from. All right, so Mocha Bella says D Great must be a Cowboys thing. No,